Hey guys, so a bit of a change up in our camping situation, that we are now on our way out to the Steens Mountain and ALVORD Desert, and we're going to spend our last night there. So the original plan was that me and my two boys were going to break off Sunday afternoon and then make that drive. That's about a 2-hour drive. And then just kind of hang out, enjoy that space. We went there last year and just had a blast. And then we were talking last night and decided, hey, maybe we could all go. So we broke camp. My dad's gonna be there, my brother and his son. So right now we're actually in the town of Rome, getting gas, getting a burger and a milkshake at the little cafe there. And then on to the desert, ALVORD Desert. So anyway, stay tuned. I'll get you some pictures of the desert and all the surrounding area. So anyway, see ya. So we are on a gravel road. I don't know the name of it right now, but we're headed to Fields, Oregon right now. We just came out of Burns Junction, headed south. I believe that's 95, and we're headed to Fields. We're going to turn up to the right. That would be north, and that snow-capped mountain over there, that's Steens Mountain. And then at the base of that, there's the ALVORD Desert, and that's where we're going to be going. So I believe within the next hour, we should be there. Okay, so we made it to Fields, Oregon, and we're going to top off our fuel tanks before we head over to the desert, which is going to be right behind me, back in that direction. So, good times. Okay, so we have left Fields. We went north out of there, and we are just rolling up on the ALVORD Desert. So right now the desert is going to be on our right-hand side, which would be the east side, and the Steens Mountain Range. That's going to be on the left-hand side, which would be the west side. So anyway, just a gorgeous area, very unique to Oregon. This is just wide open, almost like Utah, like the Salt Flats in Utah. So just free range, just open.
Okay, here we are out in the desert. Oh, there goes Grandpa. Screaming through the desert. Well, here's the radio, Jones. We're just gonna play ourselves then. It almost feels a little muddy, like the top is just barely slipping off. I can't go any faster than about 80 miles an hour. That's kind of crazy. Oh, there's a few. Wow, big cracky spots. Oh man, yeah, what a mess. Oh, it's muddy.
It feels very strange.
Oh, it feels strange. Feels strange. I thought you said James. Yeah, it does feel strange. I thought I'd be able to pick up more speed, but it's almost like you're just kind of floating on the surface. You can't really get a good bite.
Yeah, and you can tell from the dark color there is a lot of moisture right underneath the surface.
Yeah, a ways back we drove through, it was actually mud. Oh. I'm getting stuck.
It's raining mud. Oh shoot, oh my gosh. This is bad.
Fellas?
Mark's got it. We're dead. This is so bad.
I can't see you, James. Are you stuck?
Why did we go over here?
I'm gonna drop air pressure.
Yeah, Dad, I'm stuck. I'm gonna switch to 4 low and see if I can crawl out. I'm gonna head straight west and try to get out of the mud.
Right there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the same here. I'm gonna drop air pressure and go 4 low.
Okay, there we go. So we're in 4 low now. Oh, man.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep
Is it
moving as
taking
long as I
video?
can. I'm
Do you
in
wanna
4
take
low
video?
right now.
No, it's taking video
Or 4
right now.
high.
Okay, so there's mud everywhere. This is literally like... Oh my gosh. Jeez.
Are you stepping on it?
Yeah. I need to.
You just need to take your sandals off before you get back in.
Okay.
So, I didn't expect this to happen, but Mark got stuck. I got way stuck. And it's in the least likely place that I thought I would be. But we are out in the middle of a huge ancient lake bed. But it's not dry. It is, I don't know, 6, 8, 10 inches of nasty, nasty, nasty clay mud. And I got myself seriously stuck. I didn't switch to 4-wheel. Well, it went from dry to wet really quick. So I didn't know what I was getting into. And then switched into 4-wheel drive to slow. And when we came out here, all the automatic traction control, 2-wheel drive, everything was out here. So then I got stuck and it was too little too late. So Mark and Paul, there they are. Mark and Paul, Jones put on his rubber boots to go out there to meet him, but they're bringing some supplies that I'm hoping I can crawl out. So here goes nothing.
Made it out of the really soft stuff. Those guys are way off in the distance, letting the air out of the tires and putting it in 4-wheel drive. And then they're going to try to work their way through that muck.
Okay, so we got stuck. We had to drop the air pressure. Right now we're bringing it back up to street pressure. Okay, Paul, turn it off. Okay, Paul, turn it back on. So we were driving in this desert and as you can see, it's just wide open. And we started going to the north, and we thought it was a mirage. It looked kind of shiny out there, and slowly we started seeing that we're throwing mud up, and so that was pretty alarming. So we put it in four-wheel drive. We kept, we started turning a little bit, and then we got deeper and deeper and deeper, and so we eventually turned around, but it was too late. We ended up getting stuck, so we dropped the air pressure in all of our rigs. We put 4 low, had to dig them out. It was quite the production. I feel bad that I didn't get that on video, but just in the thick of things, we're trying to get ourselves unstuck. So anyway, I'm filming it now that we're airing it back up, and we're gonna go find a camp spot and get the heck out of here. Bad that I didn't get that on video, but just in the thick of things, we're trying to get ourselves unstuck.
Look what we found. So here's the first one.
Wow.
It's not very fat.
Hang on for a sec, because the focus is not getting it. Touch. Okay, good. Oh, beautiful.
Then I got this one, fatty.
That is a huge one. Yeah.
Fighter, get me out of there.
Yeah, let me see the bottoms of them, if you can, without hurting them. Just gorgeous. Laying there like it's wanting its belly rubbed. And this one's laying there like it wants to rub you. That is amazing. Wow. How about a nice close-up of your face? That'll be your new photo.
It's preggers.
Look how fat it is.
It does look pregnant. I think that's why it's so fat. That's got to be huge. It's full of eggs.
That's why.
Oh, you got one too, Paul? Cool. Where's your gizzard, Jacob?
We didn't catch one for me.
Yeah.
He caught a rattlesnake instead, but he let it go because it was kind of boring.
Okay, so it's our final day, and we are just getting packed up right now, getting things cleaned up. Yesterday our vehicles got pretty muddy, so before we head out, we're going to scrape all the mud off and use this lake behind me and just kind of wash the windows so we can see where we're going. And I'll show you our choice tool for this. It's actually a garden shovel, scraping off this mud. It's incredible mud. It's very mucky, almost like clay. It reminds me of peanut butter.
It's clay.
It is clay, yep. Sticks to everything. Anyway, so we're just getting camp broke down. We had a pretty leisurely breakfast and morning. The kids were walking around the lake, exploring a little rock wall over here. Just kind of a nice final morning.
What are you doing?
Oh, nice. So I am just knocking off all of this bigger stuff off the window. And then I'm going to come behind this with some water. Just cleaning up the glass so we can see and open and close our windows without all that nasty gritty sound. And all of this comes from our adventure yesterday, getting stuck. Okay, so yesterday when we got stuck, I was coming out of the mud just kind of full bore, getting out of it, and I had noticed that my battery light came on. And so today, that's kind of representing a problem. It shows that my amp meter is discharging rather than charging. And the funny thing is, this is actually a brand new alternator. This is probably a month, maybe 6 weeks old. So I'm just gonna double check connections. We happen to have cell service, so that's a good thing. Maybe do some looking online. Just checking it out before we hit the road. We are back on the road. We are probably a good 20-30 miles out of Burns. And if ever there was some advice that I could give you when you go out and exploring in these types of terrains, and you know you're 100 miles from the nearest town, don't do it alone. You need to have another person there, another vehicle, because you just never know. You know, I take good care of my stuff. I do the things that are required to keep a car going. Like this alternator situation, I took care of that, but it went bad. And so you just never know when something's going to come up, and this time it did come up at a really inconvenient time. And so I was towed by both my brother at first, and then he peeled off to go east toward Idaho, and then my dad. I probably was towed close to 100 miles in that range, and then ended up making some phone calls once I got to cell service to try to figure out and line up what I needed to do to take care of it. And we got to Burns, and I called Napa, Go Napa, way to save my bacon. They had the alternator that I needed. I ended up changing the battery. The battery was only 3 years old, but it was just completely dead. And so didn't want to fuss with that, so I just got a new battery. Ended up buying some new hand tools because I was pretty unprepared as far as changing an alternator goes in the field, impromptu alternator change. So I picked up some new tools. Anyway, so that's what I did in Burns. Changed the alternator and changed the battery, and right now we're back to normal, just like it always has been, you know. So that's a good thing. So with all of that, we are really behind. We're probably a good 4 hours behind where I wanted to be. So it's about 10 to 4 right now, and we've got probably 3.5 hours of driving to go, maybe 4 hours depending on traffic and how fast we go and those types of things. So it's just going to be a long night, and the kids have done great. They've been very patient in all of these things. So all in all, it was a great trip, had a great time. I'm tired, I'm ready to come home. And I hope you guys enjoyed coming along and watching what we're doing, and maybe you learned something. But I think I'm going to sign off here, and hope you guys enjoy it.
You're a little dirty, Mark.
Hello. Hi down there. Don't do that. Hi, Lizzie.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi, boys. Oh. Hello. Sagebrush. Is that what that's called? Sagebrush?
Yeah. Sagebrush from Man Lake. This is sagebrush from Man Lake in the Steens wilderness area. Hey, good morning. So it's Tuesday morning, about 9:30, 10 o'clock. We got in last night pretty late. We had just enough time to take a shower and get our jammies on and go to bed. Kind of had a lazy morning. All said and done, we were on the road yesterday like 7 or 8 hours with all of yesterday's adventures, with being the truck breaking down, being towed into Burns. Just really ate up a lot of time. So anyway, today is cleanup day, and thought I would give you kind of a behind the scenes look as to what it's going to take to unload this thing, get the truck all cleaned up, Probably something that isn't necessarily the thing you look forward to doing. You know, the camping and the excursions and overlanding, that is the excitement of it. This, not so much. So anyway, I hope you find some enjoyment in this kind of bonus reel, but I'm going to start cleaning up. He got some new overalls yesterday. My wife bought them for him, so pretty snazzy. These pillows were our mattress that went on top of this rollout system. Okay, so we got the back cleaned out, all better. We do have this rubber mat that I'm probably going to take out, and all of this is going to get pressure washed. As you can see, it's just got this really dried up clay. So all of this will get pressure washed, but that's good for now. So I'm going to clean out the inside of the truck. Okay, so it's mostly done, but I just kind of want to make sure everything's there. Take out the floor mats. We're going to pressure wash those as well. So I'm trying to get out all of the trash and just stuff, because ultimately what I'm going to be doing is taking my backpack blower, believe it or not, and just blowing everything out from one side to the other and just getting out that big stuff. Okay, time for the backpack blower. Okay, so I had to charge the phone, so you missed a little bit, but I just finished out blowing it out, excuse me, and then I pulled the bed mat out of the back of the truck. So now I'm ready to pressure wash. There's Rebecca right in there. I'm going to pressure wash right over there. You can see the pressure washer and a couple of ramps that I'm going to bring this truck up on and wash away. Okay, so finally got it all pressure washed. I pressure washed both the truck, the back of the truck, the mat that's in the truck, and then the floor mats, both the rear and the fronts. So it's all spick and span. So I'm going to put the floor mats back in there. I wiped all the dust down on the interior already. I think we're okay. I haven't really like washed it, but just pressure washing it, get off all that mud. I'll bet you I probably took off a good, I don't know, 30, 50 pounds of that just really high clay density mud. So anyway, I'm gonna put the floor mats back in, and I think this project is done. Okay, so I hope you found this interesting, the behind the scenes after our cross-country or cross-state anyway excursion, the cleanup and getting things put away. It's the not so glamorous side of a camping trip. So hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like and you know, also think about maybe subscribing to our channel. We do things like this. It's not only just homesteading and gardening and chickens and family, but we try to have fun with just doing camping and things like that. So anyway, subscribe if you think about it, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks. Bye. Hey, so one more thing. I'd be totally amiss if I did not thank both my dad and my brother for this amazing trip. I owe them a lot. They contributed to all of the footage that you saw during this video, or these videos. So anyway, Dad, James, thank you. It was a great trip, and really we ought to do it again sometime.